All right. So we'll see if this one ends up making it onto the channel or not. I just I don't know. I have been watching loosely. I'm not as informed on either of today's topics as much as I should be, but I want to speak to a broader kind of issue here. Um, so the Biden administration the last few days has been just having a grand old time. We are a little more than a month into the administration, and already we have bombing Syria, and look at that. Still got kids in cages. Love to see it. Uh, so, neither of these are good, obviously. We kind of all can agree on this, right? Like, this isn't a good thing. Like, we are again less than a month, almost less than a month into the administration already. I think that somewhere I saw. Let me look at this. Violates international law according to a legal scholar. Commondreams.org. It's a .org, so I hope it's. I hope it's credible. Let's check it out. I got a left bias. What's their factual rating look like? High factual reporting. Okay, so we can look at this source here. Uh, let's see. Oh my god, go away. Okay. President Biden violates international law and revenge airstrike in Syria. Um, by Iranian-backed militia groups, military aggression killed 22 people after hitting 3 trucks loaded with munitions. Okay. Guys, provocative and dangerous. Swiftly condemned by progressives. At least. Okay. I won't turn this into like a like a doing research video, but regardless, Biden has made it all of 30, what, 5, 6 days into his administration before bombing the Middle East, because of course he has. Um, go away, whatever the fuck that was. Also, still detaining people at the border. Love to see it. You actually don't love to see it, and it's actually really bad. In January, more than 5,700 unaccompanied minors crossed the border. Let's see. Carrizo Springs facility has the capacity to house 700 individuals between the ages of 13 and 17. Yeah. So let me make something abundantly clear first. Neither of these things were okay when Trump did them, and neither of them are okay when Biden does them. That just it's the oh my god, this stupid big ad thing keeps coming up. The need for liberals to defend this behavior when it is like literally one of the things we got rid of Trump uh to stop from happening is pretty unacceptable. Like, you really can't say Orange Man bad and then turn around and support something like this, um, and not be just a blatant hypocrite. I mean, like, but I don't know if that's necessarily what I want to speak to. What I want to speak to is, kind of, we knew what we were getting into with this. We knew who we were voting for, okay? Like, anyone who kind of feigns shock, or anyone who kind of like is like, what? The Joe Biden, 47-year moderate Democrat uh centrist Senator Joe Biden is now bombing the Middle East and detaining brown children at the border. What? That's crazy, dude. I would never have expected that. Um, no, in reality, I don't think anyone should have been expecting anything different from this. I think it's entirely consistent with what we've seen of Joe Biden in the past. Uh, and it's disgusting. It's really really shitty. Uh, like and this is the thing, right? This is the thing that fucking liberals do, and then it makes dumb fuck leftists be like, scratch a liberal and a fascist bleeds, like whatever the fuck that's supposed to mean. Like, God, I try to play defense for liberals over fascists because liberals are in fact better than fascists, but then they do shit like this, and it makes that so much harder. Like, holy shit, dude. I just. Oh. Like. Now, all of that said, having Biden as the president right now is still better than having Trump as the president because look at some of his executive orders on trans people from like day one. Look at the fact that if any justices from the Supreme Court retire, they're going to be filled by Democrats. At least I'm hoping they are. Uh, and Biden isn't, as far as I'm aware, a deranged raving lunatic like Trump is. So there's at least that. But this is certainly not starting the next 4 years off on the right foot. This is very much starting them off on the wrong foot. And I think it's disgusting. I really just hate this. um, I don't know. And another thing I don't like seeing is this kind of smug, like fucking lefty Twitter take of like, huh, well, what did you think was gonna happen? Like, of course this is what Biden was gonna do. It's like, yeah, I know that, that's kind of what I just went over. You're not like smart for having like realized that when no one else did. You're not smart for your conscientious objection to voting to not voting for a liberal over a fascist. It's very smug and very obnoxious, and I wish people would stop doing it, but I know they're not going to because the online left is, let's just call them ineffectual. A portion of the online left, at least. I hope I'm not terribly ineffectual. Maybe I am. Who knows? Um, yeah, this is really shitty. Uh, Maybe Biden, if you ever watch this video, I don't think you will, but if you ever do, maybe don't do this. Maybe don't strike Syria with bombs, and maybe don't lock up children at the border because these are the things you ran against Trump doing. I mean, I can also look at things like uh I can also look at things like, oh, where was it? Died in the Senate here. It's BuzzFeed, but I mean BuzzFeed. This thing where it was the Senate parliamentarian, I believe, Elizabeth McDonough. For someone with Irish ancestry, I should know better how to pronounce that. Um, Basically, Democrats have the ability to override the Senate parliamentarian with, I believe, just a simple majority, from what I understand, and they're not doing it. Like I will always support a Democrat over a Republican, but now is the time when we need to be criticizing the Democrats for doing the kind of awful shit that we also criticize the Republicans for doing. Like, okay, I know all of my thoughts have been very scattershot throughout this video, but if there's one thing you take away, uh, there is there are differences between the Democrats and the Republicans. Oh, y'all just got to see my wallpaper. There are differences between the Democrats and the Republicans. Uh, but there are also some areas in which they are similar. And as far as I'm concerned, any similarity between the Democrats and Republicans is a bad thing. Anything Republicans or conservatives advocate for is almost without exception negative. The one exception I'll say is off the top of my head is gun ownership, and even that is motivated by the wrong things. Like conservatives are just axiomatically fundamentally incorrect about things, right? So when I see shit like this, when I see shit that Democrats do that like Republicans would also do, I get really really frustrated because it's easy to get in your head. It's maybe it's not that easy for some people. It's easy to get in your head the idea that the Democrats are the or that the Republicans are the bad guys and the Democrats are the less bad guys, if not the good guys. And shit like this just really makes both of them seem the same. But you have to remember, we're talking about the opposition party against a party that wants to take away your rights if you're trans, your rights if you're gay, your rights if you're black, your rights if you're a woman. Like, that's what we're fighting against. And now is the time in which we need to criticize the Democrats. And I've said this before, criticize the Democrats in a way that helps people see that they aren't going to challenge the systems of power that make the world a worse place. So we need to push back on stuff like this. Any liberals on Twitter saying some dumb shit about how this was justified or about how, oh, this won't stay open for very long. These little children in cages aren't going to be there for very long. I'm pretty sure Trump said something exactly to that effect. Um, so when you see a liberal on Twitter defending either of these things, tell them that no, this, I mean, we need to, those are the people we need to reach out to and say, no, neoliberalism isn't going to help with this any more than conservatism or fascism will. I mean, this is something that requires a systemic overhaul uh, of structures of power, and Democrats are not the people to make that change, at least not the establishment Democrat types that Biden is and that most of the Senate is. And then maybe come primaries 2024, 2028, we get, I don't know, Bernie or not Bernie. I don't think Bernie's going to run again, but like Bernie did substantially better in the 2016 primaries than he did in the 2020 ones because he was running at the end of a two-term Democrat presidency, and people were just sick of Obama not accomplishing any of the things he set out to accomplish. Um, but yeah, I'll maintain that uh, the like advocacy of the left needs to be support the Democrats over the Republicans, and then when the Democrats are in power, criticize the fuck out of them when they're not far left enough. Uh, and yeah, that's kind of where we're at. This sucks. This sucks. This sucks. Uh, Biden is failing at his job. Biden is not doing any of the things he promised with this, or this. And yeah, it's disgusting. I'm disgusted. And this video has been really rambly and boring and stupid, and I apologize for that. But if you somehow liked it regardless, there's a subscribe button. You could click on that. You could click on the little bell. That'll tell you when I have another video up. You could like the video, or you could dislike it. Wouldn't blame you if you disliked it, because this video was probably kind of trash. I've got a Twitter and Discord in the description. You can leave a comment if you want to tell me what sort of a video you want to see next. Yeah, cool. See ya in the next one.